Good morning to all my audience. Welcome back to the Real Talk with Clayton and Sheila. We're going to unpack your life with faith and all the things we pretend we are not struggling with. And again, this is a very good topic, Sheila.
Yes, and today we're talking about decisions, delays, and denial. The three cousins that get people stuck, Clayton.
Wait a minute, you say they're relatives? Okay, I'm trying to work with you.
They get you stuck sometime.
Okay, somebody just kind of throw this little whisper in my ear and say, Lord, this episode is about me. I know the girl coming at me, but I'm going to defend myself at all times. Try to work with me, Sheila.
I will. That's okay. Healing starts with honesty.
When we talk about indecision is about decision. Would you agree with me or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Sheila, let's start with the big one. People love to say, I'm still thinking about it, boy. Give me a couple more years. Let me think about it.
Oh, my God. How many times have you heard that?
I'm thinking about it. Okay. Well, when you going to start exercise? I'm thinking about it. When you going to stop eating? Oh, I just thought about it. Okay.
You know what, Clayton? Some folks been thinking about it since 2014. Indecision is still a decision. When they don't tell you, guess what? That's your decision.
Yeah,
they
right.
want to stay exactly where you at.
That is absolutely true, and I'm totally going to agree with that. And I think, Sheila, when you say was some folks been thinking about it since 2014, just like you say. I've been thinking about losing weight since I was born, but I don't want to stop eating. Well, that's just an example, and exactly, Sheila, is because they don't want to move. If you do nothing going to happen. And so, they always told me a body in motion remain in motion till affected upon by some type of outside forces. So when I'm saying people want something for nothing, and just like I say, people's in denial of a lot of things.
Exactly. Movement requires responsibility. That's why some people don't want to move. And some people prefer comfort of confusion. That's just some people like that, Clayton. You know who they are.
Yeah, me. Go Hills. I'm gonna tell you something. Please, I'm just gonna be honest with you. This is not a time to be attacking me. But then again, if I feel guilty, let it be. Wouldn't you agree with that?
We're being transparent now, right?
Okay, all right. I'm trying to work with you. But when we talk about delay obedience, is still disobedience. Mm-hmm. Delay obedience is still disobedience. And let's talk spiritually for a minute, Sheila. What about when God tells you to do something and you stole?
Oh.
I mean, I think
Clayton, that's disobedience dressed up as I'm praying about it. Some of us ain't even praying, Clayton. We're procrastinating with scripture.
Well, see, when you start blowing up people's spot like that and they feel have a little sensitivity, you know what I mean? And sometimes you can be talking to the person that's a little sensitive, but I'm not going to go there because what you just said, that disobedience dressed up as I'm praying about it, thought about it. I'm going to turn my life over to God, girl, because I believe that, I need a change in my life. And you stepping on somebody else's toes today, Sheila, and really, I haven't washed my feet, but you stepping on my coins, girl. So I'm just letting you know. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Because again, when people know that they're guilty, I don't see nothing that you're doing wrong. It's just that I have a little sensitivity. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But all right.
You know what? If God gave you instruction, He already factored in your fear, your flaws, and your finances. You just delaying what He's already blessed you for. You delaying.
You know what? I got to agree with you, and I see that you've been reading your Bible for a couple of days, and but like I said, when you start quoting scripture to me, most people don't want to hear it. But when real talks is looking right at you, I'm about real talk. And just like I said, denial. When the word denial, most people don't know what that means. The silent dream killer. You know exactly what's going on, but you deny it.
Right.
You know that you got difficulties going on in your life, and you denying it. It only is going to it. Now you're going to keep denying it, and what does it do to you? Eventually, you got to face reality,
Mhm.
and that's a little sneaky one when you start denying reality.
Well,
Sneaky.
it's like you're lying to yourself. And denial is when you know the truth and you pretend you don't know it. It's when the relationship is over, but you still planning the wedding.
I like that.
The relationship is over and you still planning the wedding. And it's when the job itself is draining you, but you keep saying to yourself, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Really? Why
Yeah,
do we do that? I've done that before. Why do we do that?
we are convincing ourselves that we know something is not wrong. We know something wrong. We are convincing ourselves, no, it ain't all that bad. No, it's just in my head. And when the red flag, and I'm quite sure when that red flags come on, or waving, it waving like if you're in the parade. You know, in the parade, you got all them flags and stuff flying around, and you like maybe it's just a celebration. That's when you start denying too.
You're
So,
fooling yourself, though. I mean, denial keeps you emotionally numb, so you don't have to make a decision. You seen those people, certain type of people, they can't make a decision about anything. I don't know. I'll get back with you later. I don't know. I, it's okay. I'm not even gonna ask you no more because I know what you're gonna say.
well, Sheila, I mean, let's get down to the point now. I mean, we got a lot of people out here with mental illness. You know, we got some people, you ask them where they going, they tell you where they been. You ask some people, say, look, are you sick? No, I feel good. When you in denial, it's going to cause burden in the long run because
Mhm.
you have not been faced with the truth. You rather put up a barrier
Mhm.
to protect yourself and knowing that you are wrong. And when that red flag come up, hey, only thing that I can say, it's not a time for celebration, Sheila. And why do we stay stuck is one of the things that I'm trying to figure out. I mean, let's be real about this thing. Let's be real about it. Why do people avoid decision? Why?
I
Why
think
do they avoid decision?
I think it's fear, Clayton. I think people are afraid of being wrong, and they people fear of losing people.
That's true.
A lot of people are scared of taking on responsibilities. You see that in the job.
hmm
Some people fear success. That's real.
You know, and you would say, why would people fear success? Well, it's sometimes the way you grew up. And some folks are scared of the weight that comes with winning. They don't want that responsibility. They are still in their own comfort zone. And that's
Because
the go ahead, I'm sorry.
I agree. Because when you set a goal and you look at the steps and the things you have to do to get to that goal, it requires discipline.
That's true.
You have to be disciplined. And guess what? Discipline requires consistency.
That's absolutely.
And consistency requires maturity thinking.
Oh, all right. All right. Hey, I think that is well said. You know, I'm the kind of person that always wants something for nothing, and I just need to reprogram my mind as to what is it that is important for me. And so when you're saying, it come with, you know, c- maturity, some people never grow up.
But you just
And
said you always want something for nothing. I've always been taught anything that's too good to be true and that you don't have to strive for, it's not the golden prize.
all
Ain't
right.
nothing. If somebody giving you $1,000 and you say, "What I gotta do?" They say, "Oh, you just gotta do this and that and that." You believe that sucker? Ain't
No,
nothing. Nothing in life is easy.
That's true. That is
So
absolutely true. That is true.
if it comes too easy, you might want to rethink about it. That's with
And
any decision you make in life.
well, and just like I say, nothing come easy because people are programmed to think a certain way, and they always got their hands out looking for something for nothing. And
Exactly.
we all have them in our family.
Mm-hmm.
They want to take away from the table, but they don't want to bring nothing to it. In other words, when you uh, feel sorry for people and you try to say, "Well, I want to help you out," but if they got a closed mind and a closed attitude, it's just like trying to bust open a coconut. The head is hard and round. And so we do have a lot of people out there. I hear you, but I'm not listening
Right.
to you. And when we talk about faith perspective about God, God can bless whatever he wants when he moves. He's not going to move at your time. He's going to move at the right time.
When he moves.
Yeah, exactly. When he moves. So again, sometimes when people go through crisis situation, and they start talking to God, well, God, I'm doing all I can, and you ain't answering me. It ain't that he's not answering you. He's going to work with you at due time. But again, are you only talking to God when you need something? Because it is an emergency. And if he don't respond to you, you're going to blame God for all your failure. Close mind. And so that's when I say, so what does faith say about all of this? Well, I'm glad you asked me that. Talk to me, Sheila, about that faith.
Faith says move.
Faith say what?
Says move.
Okay.
It says move. It says trust. Faith says decide. God opened the doors, but you still got to walk through them. You know all that saying you always say you can lead a horse to a water, but you can't make them drink it?
Yes, that's true. That is absolutely
God
true.
opened doors, but you still have to walk through.
Well, that put me in the mind of that 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in the green pasture. He lead me beside the still water. Yea, do I can walk to the valley of shadows death. But again, it's a closed mouth. I just want you to please understand this now. A closed mouth don't get fed. So if you got your mouth closed, how you plan on eating? Well, for a lot of people that is not up to date with stuff.
You know what,
and a closed mind don't get led. Now that we talking real talk, not Sheila.
So true. I always, and I've had to tell my children this sometimes. You're doing your best, and sometimes you get overlooked in life, but you still keep doing your best. But if you at one point don't speak up, who knows what you want? Who knows you want that promotion? Who knows you want that job advancement, that opportunity? Who knows if you don't speak up? Sometimes there's a time to say something, and sometimes it's not. But when you say too much, people tend not to listen to you.
That's true.
But when the quietest person in the room speak, guess what?
That's alert. But you're not used to saying that, and all of a sudden you come out of the dark. Well, that's going to put a lot of people on alarm.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. You've seen that in the military.
Oh yeah, there is no doubt. These personal story moment. Sheila, tell the people about the time you delayed something God told you to do. He told you to do it. Oh, I get to it tomorrow. Let me go to Walmart. Let me go to Walgreens. I got to pick up stuff. Did the God tell you to go to Walgreens before he told you that? No. Talk to me.
I've been there many times as civilian government employee. God told me to step into a new assignment, and it was the logistics manager assignment. My boss had passed away, and I loved my boss to death. He was the best boss. And before he died, he wanted me to take his position. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do.
Wow.
And I kept saying I'm not ready, but I listened to God, and God said, "You already done the assignment."
Wow.
And I did. And I had to really think about it a long time. I was hurting at the same time.
Mhm.
And then I was saying, how can I fill his shoes? But the truth was I was scared, Clayton.
Right.
And
And
I
when you
finally said yes to AMC and my commander. And the doors opened, people embraced me. I had so much support and provision followed.
and you
And
know
this is
what, Sheila,
God's truth. This is the God's truth.
one of the things that I can justify, when you step into your fear, you could never advance yourself because there's something going to be holding you back from obtaining, brother. I mean, we all have some type of fear, but there's more fear that you put on yourself. That's the fear that you allow. But when you use something that was very important, I relied on God. I knew that I was scared, but once I overcome that fear, I kept moving forward. And I'm gonna say this to you, Sheila. Sometimes the blessing is waiting on your decision. It's waiting on your decision.
Mhm.
When they say God got a blessing for you, and it's waiting for you. It's waiting on your decision. And the way you're gonna make the right decision, that you got to go to God and say, look, I don't have the skills, I don't have the knowledge, but I rely on you to help me make a decision to what I'm trying to accomplish.
I'm going through that now. I have my faith, trust, and hope. And I rely on God, to get me through this fashion show, one of the biggest things I've done since I retired, to bring the community together, and it's going well. So he's leading me through. And what I'd like to say to the listeners out there this week, I want you to identify one decision you've been avoiding. Just one.
One decision.
Write it down and pray over it. And then take one step, even a small step matters. One step at a time.
One step make a difference. And if you need accountability of that step, just tell a friend. Not the friend who enable you, but the one who tell you the truth. Because sometimes you got friends who tell you what you want to hear, not what you need to know. Because they feel that if they tell you what you need to hear, they might lose a friendship. But I'd rather be truthful to a friend than to sit up there and just try to, lollygag and just tell him what he want to hear. And to me, that is very important. And and Sheila, this is real talk that you and I are speaking. And people are going through everything that we're talking about, but they just need somebody to hear it. They just need someone to talk about it. And so this outro, Sheila, I mean, is anything else you need to say about this episode 2?
Clayton, I'm that one friend who tells the truth.
Well, again,
I love my friends, but sometimes they know when I say something, I don't mean to hurt anybody, but I don't want to see them get hurt either. And I tell the truth. That's what I do for my friends. And I would want my friends to do the same for me. And that's who I call a true friend.
You're right. That is next time we're going to dive into episode 3, Sheila, the accountability episode. And listen, that one string a little, that's one mic string a little attitude.
You thinking about it's gonna get some people. It's really gonna sting. It's gonna be a good healing sting though. But see you next time, friends.
Okay. And look, I want to close out, Sheila. It's been a pleasure, well as a privilege that you and we are speaking up for a lot of people that cannot speak up for themselves. We're speaking from our heart. We making people aware of what's going on. Like I said, we can lead a horse to water. We can't make him drink. And the only thing that we're asking all our viewers and listeners out there, please share this information. If you want to talk about real talk, send us a email, like, dislike, hit the notification button, because we're trying to be able to create a podcast where it's about awareness. That's what it's all about, awareness. As I said, keep praying, keep asking God for strength, because the next episode it might touch a lot of you guys, and it might make you feel guilty. And if we can make you feel guilty to make you realize is that this is about real talk, that's what we're going to do. But until next time, Sheila, you have anything that you want the audience to know or what?
Well, share this video and talk to your family and talk to your friends about these discussions, because we're going to have like 9 segments on this. And it's we're transparent without speaking, and what we're discussing right now. There's nothing hidden about it. So if it touches you in any way, reach out to us, leave us comments, give us some feedback on things you would like to hear us talk about more.
Okay, I know it's a little off subject. Sheila, tell them exactly about this Catch the Promise, about your this big fashion show you're coming up before we close out, and it's up in Delaware.
Right.
Music. Catch the Promise.
Doing a fashion show. Catch the Promise is a nonprofit breast cancer organization, and being Delaware ambassador, I have like 15 breast cancer survivors and caretakers who will be modeling, and we're going to be celebrating their lives with fashion. They're going to be on the runway, and we're going to celebrate life. We're going to have fun. We're going to have dinner.
You know, what a wonderful thing to do. And please, my sympathy goes out to, and you're doing something to inspire people. You know, just because you're dealing with your illness and stuff like that, you making people happy. And all these ladies are breast cancer survivor?
Yes, and some of them have been affected, families affected with their mothers or their cousins, somebody very close.
Wow.
So they're excited about coming together. We're celebrating them. We're giving them the highlights, runway, lights, action, camera. So I've been working hard on this, and this is one of the first ones I've done. So right now the ticket sales is going really good. It's almost 100 people. So
okay. For those people up in that area, those who want tickets, can you tell them a little bit about where the location and how they could contact you all to get tickets?
Yes, they can contact myself at Sheila, SHEILA, at catchthepromise.org. Send me an email, and I'll give you all the information you need.
No, that's great. But again, I want to thank you all for listening in. I'm praying, hope that you share this information. We hope that this is going to inspire you, enlighten you. And please, this is going to be a strong podcast. And so we're going to talk about real talk. If there's something that you want to talk about, just shoot us an email or a text. We'll be glad to be of service to you. But until next time, may God bless you. Sheila, adios.
Peace.